Welcome back to the workshop. No, this is not the workshop. If it is, I've been robbed. This is the garage on the house that I'm doing some work on. My house. It's hard to say because it's never, for so long it was always my aunties and cousins, house. So, but they have passed on, unfortunately. But yeah. So I'm on my house and we're doing some work on the garage here, and it's a 6x6 garage, thereabouts, I would assume, a double garage. So this would be the size of my workshop, were I to get a workshop on the new premises that I will be purchasing at some stage. It will need to be a little bit bigger, although this size would be nice to make use of, because I've basically got probably where I'm standing here is probably the width of the garage I've got, the workshop. So all of this over here would be used for cabinetry and the dust extractor, etc. So yeah, that would be quite good. Anyway, that wasn't what I was talking about. This was a Dave's Diary hint, and it's one of those questions that how far do you go before you just go, whoa, no, that's going to cause a whole lot of problems, and we don't know what the people would be wanting that would buy it anyway, because, the old story of silk purse sours ear. So having worked on, locks and door hinging and what have you, a lot in my life, there are sometimes shortcuts that you come up with that, good ones, some aren't so good, but good ones that, will have to suffice. I re-hinged this door, and instead of the 3-inch hinges that I had with 75mm, I put 4-inch hinges. Of course, they're better. And what it does is it actually takes the screw holes away from the original. And so the new hinge screws are away from the old hinge screw hole, so you don't wind up with a screw going down or chasing an existing hole. So that's a good thing. Had to plane a bit off of that edge because it was starting to bind, and I planed a bit off of the other edge as well. It's just a made on site door. Just got some TNG flooring by the looks of it. You can generally tell that when they've got this groove here, it was a flooring type of, put this way, flooring has also got that Remu, Hart Remu, pretty resistant to rot. And then they've just clashed it together with some horizontal ledges or rails, whatever you want to call them, and then brace them correctly down on each part. And then they've screwed a batten on the side to give it a wee bit of depth, which is quite a good thing. Still has to be painted, but at least it's looking correct. Then when I went to lock it, actually I'll just bring that, I'll close that because it is a bit windy here. Oops. Just closing it. It's one of those old surface mount locks, the old good old key there, but it's a surface mount lock, pressed metal, very, very popular in its day, and would be pretty hard pressed to go find one now in the shop. They've got smaller versions of this, but certainly nothing like that. So that was a little bit of a problem, because the striker, the actual tenon part of the lock, was shaped, which meant that the normal shape that you've got, the semicircle that allows the door to easily close, it was almost that shape on the other side, which meant it could allow the door to open, push the tenon back, and that was not good. So I'm thinking, oh God, where do you get one of these locks nowadays? So I went down just on the off chance that they still had some of these. I haven't seen them in the merchants, and I wasn't going. They've got a big display of locks, but I haven't seen one of these for a long time. And sometimes you'll take a memory that you've seen something 30 years ago or whatever, and then you'd swear and avow that you could get one if you went to the shop, but no. I wasn't going to go to the locksmiths. That would be expensive. So I came up with a wee bit of a tip for you, and that was called a grinder. And what we did is this is the part here, the tenon that moves in and out. I just reshaped the end of it. It hasn't weakened it. It still works perfectly fine. So now it is shaped so that it is, instead of being angled, which causes the problem that I said, it is now square and can easily latch and stay closed. Thank you very much. It hasn't shrunk the amount back of the tenon, so that's good. And I also shaped the actual lock, the tenon of the lock. So I'll just throw it out, like that. So I took about 3 millimeters off of it, again just to shrink it down, because the new striker plate, the distance between the, let's see if you can get the angle, the distance between the latching and the locking part was all that was wrong. So rather than grinding or filing a bit of, pointing the camera in the right direction now, instead of filing a bit off of there of about 3, 4 or more 4 mil maybe, I decided not to do that, which is often the way we do it, but to do that, all nice and shiny now of course, but that meant that, because this lock still works perfectly fine surprisingly, and it latches nicely, or locks nicely, says I when it won't do it now, like that. So not being able to find one of these flipping locks anyway is a bit of a nuisance, but now I don't have to worry about trying to find one, paying for it. Hate to think what one would cost if you could find it, because it would have to be a replica of one, so not a high volume item, and then trying to fit a new lock as an alternative to an existing door, which doesn't have, it's not standard, you could say. So that was a good solution. It would function just as good as if it were a new lock, being that it's not, of course, but it would excuse me, a bit of a cough. So both the latch and the lock are now working. Look at that. In fact, that should have been done probably 20 years ago, but it wasn't. So there you go. That was a little Dave's Diary tip. Think outside the box. That's what that is actually saying. So yeah. Righty-ho. Well, that was a short one. Yeah, I do make them. I've loaded up the trailer with all the trimmings, and so that's trailer number 2, and there will be a trailer number 3 and 4, I can assure you. So when that gets done, I'll come back and pick it up. The garden people will come and probably do the trimming, and I'll cut it away for them. Offered that as a wee bit of a compensation or service for them, but quite a bit of trimming to do, considering it's not a big garden. Right, well, I bet I'm going to go and dump that, head home, and guess what? Have a cup of tea, and then we'll probably head out to the workshop proper and start looking at. I thought about the storage units and how I want to assemble them. So I've got an idea that I want to make up a spacer so I can but use it to space the actual rail that I want to put in the doweling guide, drill guide. And I think if I do that, I'll get a standard width, space. Of course, should do. And so I want to have a look at that and see how we go, and then start getting a little bit of work done on that flaming storage unit, or units. So yeah. Rightio, that's it. I'm off. I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye now.